Um, so crazy. I was born here in Spokane, Washington at Fairchild Air Force Base. Then I lived most of my life in Colville until I was 18. And my childhood was not easy at all, especially when the people who were supposed to be taking care of you do terrible things to you. For the first 8 years of my life, I was in and out of foster care, and I was really neglected and abused. My parents were, they were really high a lot, always actually. I was 6 or 7, and I was at my mom's and I was cleaning because when I was little, I used to always clean, and I know it's because, I know now it's because it was the only thing I could control in my life. I was sweeping the kitchen and the SWAT team came in, and they just busted our door down and came in and took my parents, well, my real mother and her boyfriend at the time, and they took them outside and strip searched them in front of me and my sisters, which was pretty messed up. Just my whole thing, the whole childhood was a bunch of crap. A lot of older people doing things to children that they shouldn't be doing. And then when I was 8 years old, I moved in with my grandparents, and they got custody. They became guardians of us, me and my sisters. And we lived there until I was about 16 or 17. And then my grandpa went to jail because he tried molesting my little sister. And we had to move back in with my real father, who, has been a drug dealer his whole life, and he's in prison right now, serving 7 years at Wallowa State. And so we lived with him for a short period of time, and me and my little sister, we worked so we could pay our rent, and we went to school. And that time was not a good time in my life because I was very drunk most of the time, or high, or anything really that would just make my life not be so annoying and painful, I guess. When I was 18, I decided that I knew that the only way I could change my life if I decided to do something. And so I decided to go to college and become a hairdresser. And I graduated college. I felt when I finished that, I felt like now my life is going to be good. Now everything's going to be good. I don't have to worry about people betraying you or you putting your trust into someone who robs that trust, takes it away. And so for a long time, still I have a really hard time trusting anyone. But I started searching. I wanted to know why I'm on this planet. It just seems like a pointless thing to me. So I started searching and stuff, and I was looking into a lot of stuff that has to do with Buddhism and, how you can make your own destiny and all that crap that doesn't even make sense. But I didn't really like anything that I found, so I started taking bits and pieces from things that I found that I did like, and I started kind of creating my own way that I was going to live or whatever, which is so dumb, but I did that. And then that's when things started getting really bad. I had started to see shadows and stuff. When I was getting ready for work in the morning, I'd just see stuff pass by me or something like that. And I didn't know what it is. I figured it was just me being tired or whatever, or just seeing something because I wasn't fully awake, but it got worse. And then one night I woke up and I saw this gray cloud type thing hovering above my head. And the first night it happened, I was just again, oh, that's probably just me, I was dreaming or something. Another time I woke up in the middle of the night and I felt like I was on fire, I was so hot, hotter than I had ever experienced being in my whole life. and it scared the crap out of me. Other things happened where I woke up another time and saw claw marks on my wall, like somebody was trying to climb out of a place, but they couldn't escape. And that's when I was like, this is messed up. So I started searching on my own, and I started to pray, to God actually, which I thought was kind of funny because that's not what I was learning about. That was not what I was trying to teach myself about. I was learning about Buddhism, not about Jesus and the Bible and stuff like that. But when it came down to it, Jesus was the one I asked for. So I was like, then I started going farther into, the beliefs in the Bible and stuff like that, because I wanted to know if I could fight whatever was coming after me. So I started, learning more about God, and then I just went to a point where I wanted to know everything I could possibly learn about who he is, what he's done, like just to know his character. I will say one thing that was really cool that he said to me, which is like my favorite. I was driving one day and I was just looking at, like the spring, how the flowers come up and everything's growing and stuff, and I felt like God kind of put an impression on my heart that I was in winter for my whole life, but I covered myself with a white blanket so that I wouldn't completely die from darkness. And now that blanket is going away and I'm becoming new. And it was really cool to, know that, because I knew that it was true. And it just makes me excited to continue, I know that I'll mess up. I know that's not going to be easy, but I fully believe without a shadow of a doubt that having Jesus on your worst day is better than having the best day of your life without him.